Let's do a puzzle from the 80s, a vintage Springbok puzzle. Hey puzzle besties, welcome back to my channel, Javy's Puzzle Odyssey. Alright guys, let's get into it. Today, I am going to be doing this Springbok, a Snoopy Christmas puzzle from 1985. It is a vintage Springbok puzzle. And I'm always hearing how the vintage Springbok puzzles are like the best. So today I'll be giving you guys my opinion on whether I notice a difference. Now, I have touched older vintage Springbok puzzle. I actually have, I think, 2 other vintage Springbok puzzles from like the 70s. So I'll be checking that out and seeing if there's a difference. We're going to do a time lapse. You guys are going to see me put this together. We're going to do an unboxing and a close-up at the puzzle. I'm super excited. Guys, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Drop a comment. Let me know in the comments if you are a Springbok puzzler, a vintage one in particular for this video. I'm interested to know if you guys prefer a vintage Springbok or a new Springbok. So, super excited. But please remember to share, like, and subscribe. Drop a comment, guys. It really helps support my channel. I really appreciate everyone's support. Everyone has been commenting on my videos and showing love. I appreciate it, guys. And today I am featuring a candle. This one is chocolate croissant. Guys, it smells delicious. There is a sale at pridefulscents.com if you're interested. It's our candle website, me and my partners. So, I believe it'll be going through to the end of the month if you're interested. But let's get into the puzzle, guys. Vintage Springbok. Snoopy. First of all, it looks difficult. Let's find out if it's going to drive me crazy. Alright guys, let's unbox. Take a look at the packaging. You got the image here, corner to corner. We have the information. It's Snoopy Christmas, authentic Springbok, 20 by 20, so it's a square. And then some information about the Peanuts characters, 1958, 1965, 1966, 1972. From my research, this puzzle is from the 80s. But I'm hoping all the pieces in there because it is an old puzzle. But let's take a look at the cut and the quality. Right off the bat, the pieces feel sturdier than a newer Springbok. That's the back. Got some pieces together. That's typical Springbok behavior. Satin finish. It's not glossy, but it's not matte. Let's look at the shapes. The shape looks pretty much the same like any other Springbok. Crazy pieces. But I wanted to give you guys a close-up. They feel really good. The quality feels very sturdy. And you hear that often with the Springbok puzzles. The vintage ones. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, I just want to say, I know I said the puzzle feels sturdier than the current Springbok, but I went ahead and grabbed the current Springbok and it feels just as sturdy as the current one. Now at the end of the video, I'll give final thoughts on like the overall quality, but it felt like pretty good. Typical normal Springbok quality. It was well built. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, you guys know, if you know me already, Springbok is not my favorite puzzle to do for multiple reasons, and it's more so of a personal reason. I'm not a random cut puzzler. Now, every once in a while, I'll dabble and I'll do some random cut, and I know that I'm starting to get better at it over time. So I find myself doing more Springboks here and there. Now, something I want to mention that I know people don't like about Springbok is a lot of the pieces come still put together and you have to sit there and take them apart, and it can be a little time consuming. But you know, me, I'm just like, I'm gonna leave it there because it's one last piece I gotta look for. So I'm taking that freebie or bonus, as I like to call it. But this puzzle in particular was very challenging, just like any other Springbok. I can't start with the edges. You guys know I love to start with the edges. I tried my best to get the edges, but at some point I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna puzzle what I can find, and that's exactly what I did. I started with the brighter colors. This puzzle was more challenging than I thought. Initially, I thought this puzzle was gonna be a quick and easy one, and nope, it was not. It was very dark. The colors are very muted. The bright sections is what I got done, and then the rest of the puzzle I struggle. You'll see over time on the time lapse, it took me a long time to put this puzzle together. I should have recorded my time, but I didn't, which I never usually do because I don't want to have any pressure. I feel like if the timer's going, then there's pressure, but I still enjoyed my puzzle time with the Snoopy puzzle. I just, it was a lot of work, but we'll get into quality at final thoughts at the end. I just wanted to touch base on what I did. I pretty much just flipped all the pieces up. I didn't even bother sorting too much. I flipped all the pieces up and then just went to plugging away. I'm pretty sure if I sorted maybe just a little bit, like some of the obvious greens and the tans, and then everything else was just kind of a little bit of the same everywhere. So that was that. But I did enjoy the puzzle. I did have fun still. Jeffrey jumped in a few times and picked at it. Noemi came over and picked at it a few times. But, you know, it's funny when you're like not filling a puzzle, it's going to take longer. You're going to like not really feel desire. And I just want to let you know, it's okay to stop puzzling if you're not filling the puzzle. Like, you can't get that time back if you sit there and you're dreading the puzzle and doing it. I really wanted to do this puzzle. 1, it's Christmas time. 2, I wanted to put it together for you guys. And 3, I like the image. I do. But it's one of those where just because I like the image, I probably shouldn't puzzle it. But if I wasn't filming this for you guys, I probably would have put this puzzle away and gave it to someone else to do, and then came over and see it when it was complete. Because it was just too time consuming and just not enough time in my day to struggle with a puzzle that I'm just not enjoying that much. But there was still some enjoyment of it, and I did like the complete image for sure. And you know, I just want to say it's not about the difficulty, because I've worked on plenty of difficulty puzzles, but for some reason the Springbok puzzle cut, I struggled the most with it. My brain can't decide if I should follow a P shape or follow the image, and it turns into me just sitting there staring at pieces for a long time. So, but I am going to leave you with the rest of this time lapse. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you at the end for my final thoughts.
With boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. lasses, fa la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses, fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la.
All right, guys, the puzzle is complete. I have it on the foam board. But let me tell you one thing for certain is the hold is great. The hold is awesome. Guys, this puzzle, you can play frisbee with it. I love the hold. That's one thing that I can vouch for when it comes to a Springbok puzzle is that hold is gonna hold. It is gonna hold together. Quality from the 80s, definitely good quality. I will say it feels great. Now, I just want to say something. I gave Jeffrey, I blindfolded him. I should have filmed it, but I blindfolded him. I gave him a piece of a newer Springbok and a older Springbok, and I said, which one feels better to you? And believe it or not, he said, the newer one. And I did that because I wanted to get an unbiased opinion, and I have to agree with him. The newer one feels a little bit better. However, this puzzle is from the 80s. It was in a Ziploc bag, but it is a very old puzzle. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I went back and grabbed an older Springbok that I have from the 70s. And in fact, that quality felt so much better than this one and the older and the newer one. That quality was different. There was something different about the puzzle pieces. They feel a lot more firm. They feel a lot stronger. I didn't do the puzzle yet, so I can't give you my 100% opinion on whether it's better or not. But I definitely feel a difference from the 70s puzzle versus the 80 puzzle and the current Springbok puzzle. The 80 puzzle feels very similar to the current Springbok material. The piece cut is kind of the same to me when it comes to this 81, but I haven't tried the 71, so we will be doing a 70 Springbok puzzle review at some point. Then overall, I did enjoy the puzzle. Now, I'm saying it like that because there were some moments with the puzzle where I was getting like, not annoyed, but frustrated. Especially like in the darker areas where everything kind of just looked the same. I think the shapes is what helped me the most when it came to putting this puzzle together. Now, did it change my thoughts on the Springbok brand? No. Still not my favorite brand, but I did enjoy the puzzle. And I do enjoy Springbok here and there. They're just not my favorite puzzle brand. And I'm not a random cut puzzler to begin with. So I really have to be in the mood. But if I like the image, I'll work on the Springbok. Now, what I will say is I'm getting a lot better and more comfortable with doing Springboks. I am starting to do them a little bit more often and frequent versus like the once or twice a year gig with me. But if I like the image, I'll do it. It's not a problem. But overall, I really enjoyed the puzzle. It was fun. Jeff did jump in and help me out a little bit. So, yeah, I still feel the same way. I will say is the packaging was better in the 80s than it is now because this package came from the 80s and it's still well put together. Feels more sturdier. I feel like now when you get a Springbok, the box starts the box starts to fall apart here and there. But if I had to give this puzzle a overall rating, 1 out of 10, I give it a 6 or 7. I enjoyed it. It was good. It just, would I do it again? No, not really. But it's nice to do something from the 80s. You know, I always wonder about back before I was born, what they were puzzling. So it was interesting. Now I have a puzzle from the 70s where I actually opened and the quality feels amazing. Probably better than any puzzle I've touched here currently. So we will do another review of another vintage from a different time of the year. But moving right along, guys, I have 2 more holiday specials for you guys, and that is it with the Christmas puzzles and the holiday puzzles. I am going to show you my entire Christmas puzzle collection. I have quite a few. I'm not sure how many I have altogether, but I have a few Christmas puzzles that I want to share with you guys. Unfortunately, this time of the year comes and goes so quick. It is already about to be Christmas. I cannot believe it. Like Mariah Carey defrosted, sang her song, and then poof, it's Christmas. Like just a couple more days till Christmas. I cannot believe it. And when I tell you the pile of Christmas puzzles I have, and I'm always stuck on picking a complicated Christmas puzzle like the Snoopy one. It took me almost 2 weeks to complete. And I think what happens is it's so complicated that the desire to do it is less and less every time. So I like have to force myself to do it, get into it, and then complete the puzzle. So that's what happens every year. So there was like the Grinch Christmas puzzle that I have. I was going to do that as a video. And then I'm like, if I do that right now, it literally will probably take me the whole month. So it is what it is. Now, I'm going to show you guys my entire Christmas collection. I am reviewing a puzzle which is more enjoyable. It is a Elena Essex puzzle. I can show you. A Elena Essex puzzle. I'm actually doing it, and it's a lot more enjoyable, colorful, bright, and vibrant. That's the kind of puzzles I like. Colorful, bright, and vibrant. I'll take that any day. And then my last video will be a advent calendar. So I have this mystery advent calendar that I'm going to film for you guys all at one setting. We'll look at each day. It is a mystery. You guys don't know what it is, but I know what it is. Jeff got me a advent calendar recently, and I'm not a big advent. I'm the type of person who will do the advent calendar in one sitting. I don't like to have a puzzle sitting out, going and going and going and going. I want to get it done and off the table, move on to the next. So we'll do this in one setting. But in the comments, let me know. Take a guess. Let me know what the theme is for this advent calendar. You know, like every advent calendar has a theme. Obviously, it's probably going to be Christmas. But is it going to be... is it going to be like vintage Christmas theme, Disney Christmas theme, villains Christmas theme, animal Christmas theme, pets Christmas theme? Take a guess in the comments. Let me know. I'm pretty sure you guys are, by now you should know me and probably will give me some good guesses, but I'm excited. I put all of the days in here, and every day will be a different part of the puzzle to do, and a different brand. Also, guess the brand. Never seen this brand on an advent calendar before, so I'm excited to share. So this is actually a German advent calendar that Jeff's parents gave us, and we were like, what are we going to put in there? And the light bulb went off in my head. Ding! And I was like, oh, I could put the advent calendar. It's like perfect. So take a guess. Is it going to be what the theme is? So those will be the last videos for the holidays, and we will go back to scheduled programming. I have a bunch of puzzles I want to review. I have a bunch of artists I want to review. I have a bunch of challenges speed puzzling, everything, guys. So I will see you all in the next video. Stay tuned. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Check out our social medias. I'm on Instagram, now on TikTok. And check out our Prideful Scents, our candles. We have a sale this month. We did get an order. So thank you to one of you who ordered. I hope you got your candle by now. We have a sale. I'm test burning chocolate croissant. I'm calling it chocolate croissant because that's what it reminds me of, but I forget the name of it. But it's basically like a chocolate bread. Pan à chocolat, something like that. So, all right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.